Hi, thanks for joining us for today's session where we're going to talk a little bit about Xero and give you a bit of an introduction as to what the tool is. And with Xero helps you build a better business. Well, that's our philosophy behind utilising great tools in your business. So who we are is we are in Albury. We're a local accounting firm here, and we work with a range of clients in helping them achieve their greatness, whatever that looks like for them in business. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about what Xero is and all the fuss about with it, because you've obviously heard about it, maybe not quite using it, or may have just done a trial to see, if it's going to fit with what you're trying to achieve in your business. We're going to have a bit of a higher level overview of what it is and what it looks like, and then look at how you can use it daily, like in your day-to-day business, looking at reconciliation. It's, usually a bit of a not a fun word, and we're going to look at some tips and tricks that will help make it more efficient for yourself using this tool in your business. So I don't know if you've heard this one, but I'd rather face a root canal surgery with no aesthetics rather than do bank reconciliations. Xero is designed around helping alleviate that pain for you. It's designed to be quick and easy, obviously having accurate in getting what you need done quickly. So how many of you watching today started your own business so that you could do the accounting side of what you've got to do in there? And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't see any show of hands, because it's just something that you have to get done. You have to do, whether you outsource it or whether you're going to do it yourself. And so you didn't go into business to do that. And that's what we're here to help our clients with, is getting them set up, showing them the things that will help them along that journey, and then working through it with them as to what it is, how much they want to get in there and utilize this tool. A lot of the times when you're starting out in business, you're bootstrapped, so you are your bookkeeper. So you need to learn how to use those tools. So what Xero is designed to do is to help you spend more time doing the things that you love and what you want to do. And I'm here to tell you that with a tool like Xero in your business, it's going to help you save time and energy. And then you're going to also understand what is going on in your business, what the finances, what's happening, maybe even start getting an understanding of what tax you're expecting to pay. And that's how Xero can create those insights for you. So let me tell you a little bit about Xero and the background of that. So you may or may not have heard of Xero, but they're not a new company. Xero's been founded in 2006, and they've got well over 1 million users worldwide. The founders of Xero believe that businesses do better when they have access to up-to-date online information about their finances and that software didn't exist in 2006. And so that's how that design of Xero came about. The founders wanted to rewrite the global small business economy and enable them to thrive through beautiful software, so great to use, and where you can connect with your advisors and connect with other tools that you use in your business as well. And that's what they continue to strive to do with Xero. So Xero was built in the cloud for the cloud, and it offers you the freedom and benefits that come along with utilizing the cloud. Let's have a look at some of those benefits. So you've got here that you can work from anywhere. You can have it on your phone. There's mobile apps to utilize. You can use, the browser on your phones. The information is always current. So whether you're using, you've got two people on that same device or that same, Xero file, then what they're updating, you can also see what's been updated at the same time. And it obviously has regular backups. It's got, massive servers because it's a global company, so that your data is always there. Let's have a look at some other, I think an important feature of Xero is that keeping things secure is really important, obviously, to us with our requirements in the accounting space, but for you as a business owner, that information that's contained on your Xero file is really important, and Xero has that bank level of security for all of that information. It utilizes multiple firewalls. It's got third-party audits, and of course, it's got that two-step authentication to keep that data safe for you. So what is it also about Xero? So on your screen now, you can see like a bit of a dashboard, and it's got a really great design for you with a great dashboard that pops up straight away, so that you can maneuver it around to make it look the way you want it to look. But the automatic default settings is really great because it gives you insight of what's going on in the business just by a couple of graphs being able to see it. It uses plain English, so it's quite intuitive. So if you're doing something in Xero, what you're thinking is usually the parameter that you're looking for within Xero. You want to invoice, go to invoicing, such as that. They don't use accounting terms like debits and credits. You won't see that in Xero. It's very rare. It's usually on the accounting side. It's utilizing the language that business owners use themselves. What else is there? So like I said, with that dashboard, you can change it and maneuver it around to suit your business, so that it's telling you the information that you want, so that you can make decisions on it. Because that's why you capture your data, is so that you can make informed decisions, know what your cash flow is, so that you can keep your business running the way you want it to do. So in a business, cash is the lifeblood of a business. And with Xero, it links into over 5,000 different banks and financial institutions. It's just connects with so many. And if it hasn't got a connection, I'm sure it would find a way of linking up and getting that through for you. And you can connect your bank accounts, your credit cards, your PayPal feed, your Stripe, your Square, all those types of bank institutions feed into Xero, so that you've got that data in real time. It all turns over within that 24 hours. You spend the money today, it's showing up in Xero tomorrow. Also, once that bank feed is connected into Xero, on a daily basis, you can go in and you can reconcile what's going on. So when we use that word reconcile, what we're doing is we're just allocating like where those funds were spent. So, if you were at the hardware store, maybe you're buying tooling for your business, so that you can match those different things in there and allocate them out. So it's set up that you can do it on your mobile, or you can do it on a PC desktop. It all goes in automatically. There's no need to manually upload any bank statements or anything like into Xero, because it's got that feed coming in for you. So you can just see that little demonstration there of that reconciliation process of reconciling that bank account transaction straight away when you open up your app, if you're utilizing it on your phone. It's got that real-time data. It's super easy, and it can be done daily. It can be done when you've just got a couple of spare minutes where you're maybe waiting for something, you're in transit, traveling, that you've just got that 5 minutes to upload it. As from an accounting perspective, it's great because you can also attach the invoices, the receipts, etc., to your reconciliation, so we can see exactly, what it was spent on for the business. So another way Xero is designed for work for small business is through its focus on collaboration. You'll see, because you and I can both see the information at the same time, we can solve problems really quickly. We can be sitting there and you can be on the phone with me asking a question, and I can be in the Xero file with you, looking at that exact problem that you've got, so that we can solve it then and there. There's also other ways in Xero that we can collaborate. So it could be after hours that you're working in your Xero file, that there's areas that you can help yourself. So you can utilize the Xero help. And on the screen, you can see that on the top left there, on the top right, where you've got your help. And it's intuitive, like I said before. So you can just search the parameters of what you're after, such as how to invoice, or how to pay a bill, or how to reconcile something, and it will come up directly in that help and give you an article and the steps on what to do. The other way is that you've got a question that you want to ask your advisor. Obviously, we're advisors. Is on your screen on the other side in your reconciliation space is the discuss section against each transaction, where you can type in there, Celeste, I'm just wondering about this particular item. Does it have GST or not? Should I be allocating it? Maybe they overpaid me. Like, ask all those questions in that discuss piece for that particular transaction. Gone are the days where you need to script out a really long email about the problem you're having. By utilizing the tools within Xero, you can articulate your problems a lot quicker and easier, and obviously ultimately getting them solved a lot quicker. And you're in that one tool. So another benefit of Xero is its connected apps. It's not just designed for collaborating with your accountant and the business owner. It collaborates across the board with all the different apps. So many now businesses have a whole, what we call an app stack of the different tools that they use in their business, so that it creates more efficiency for them, such as they might use a payroll tool, or if you're an online store, you might be utilizing Shopify. So Xero, you'll find, links up with all of the apps that have been certified in the Xero App Store. And you just go into that app store and you have a search and you have a look, see what everybody else is using, check out the ratings, making sure that it's going to narrow down quickly what maybe 3 or 4 apps you need to look at to see if it's going to solve the problem that you have in your business. Okay, so you don't have to just use what everyone else is using, but it can really narrow down what your problem is, and then what solutions are available to you. And with every business, it changes over time as to what apps you may or may not need. When you're starting out, you might not necessarily need a payment gateway, but as time goes on, you might find that you're looking for something like Square or Stripe to integrate with your business, so you can get those payments quickly. And so the app marketplace is a really great place to have a look around and see what it is that you can potentially utilize in your business to create those efficiencies for you. So here we've got a bit of a diagram here of Xero flipping the script on how accounting is done. It used to be a business owner that had to go and get all the transaction documents from their banks, suppliers, customers, whatever they had, and then someone would have to enter all of that data into desktop software. So not cloud, but desktop. And then it would then have to be reconciled to make sure it balances, and then create those reports so that it would then be ready to go to your accountant. Not anymore. And you can see that diagram, the different steps that it has to go through along the way to get all that information collated. But now what we're looking at is the information from the banks, customers, suppliers, they all feed directly into Xero, and it reduces that manual data entry. It's reducing the errors and any other redundancies of different practices that you might have. So then as an advisor, people like us, Xero partners, can then jump in and always have access to see what's going on. As you can imagine, throughout the COVID period, when there were so many grants going, easy for it to work with our clients that were already using cloud-based program like Xero to be able to ascertain whether or not they qualify for anything. And ongoing, this is a really important support mechanism that we can offer to our clients, because we have their data at our fingertips. We can pull any reporting if you're going for financials and give you advice that is based on real-time data, which is something that is so important as a business owner to have the most up-to-date information. So with Xero, how can it work for you? And I want to just jump into Xero itself, into the demo company, and have a look at the couple of things that I mentioned that we would look at, such as how you can utilize it day to day, what reconciliation is, what is that word, what does it mean, and maybe some tips and tricks that you might want to get out of it. Okay, so obviously I'm going to be looking over here a little bit whilst I'm navigating Xero with you. So here I am, this is the dashboard, this is just the demo company, and every Xero user has access to the demo company to run around and have a play in if you're not quite confident to start in your system. We've got our toolbar up the top here. So we've got all the different things that we're doing. So when we're thinking about, oh, I need to do something, like I need to do an invoice, we're doing a business activity. So you go into business and then you can see that there's that drop-down menu, making it really quick and easy and intuitive to go to where you want to go to. And it's all, you know, laid out really clean and easy, using some keywords that gets you where you need to be quicker. You know, on the accounting space, you're looking at reporting, you're looking at, you know, doing different lodgements in there, and all of the space that you may or may not play in. And at first, it might not be really important to you, but as you begin to become a proficient Xero user, that it's definitely a space you should hang out and pull your reports to see whether or not you're making money. Payroll. So payroll can be really, really complex in a business depending on the industry that you're in. So Xero does its best to try and make payroll as to sort of demystify around what's going in there. So in there you can see that you've got different functionality of loading in your employees. You can load in different, you know, leave, you've got timesheets. So all those things that is to do with payroll is in that particular menu, you can go straight to it. You've also got Xero projects if you're utilizing that within your business. This is sort of like a bit of an add-on tool that you may or may not choose to use. And then, of course, you've got all your contacts, your suppliers, your customers that you work with, all that data is in there. So what you're utilizing in your CRM, that information as your contact details, you can import that information into Xero when you start out with your file. So it, you know, makes it's not that duplication of data, because Xero has some really great functionality around those imports. So what would you use day to day in Xero? You'd be clicking on the button for reconciliation because you want to see, well, what's come in and what's gone out. You'd have a look in there. So if I go and touch into the reconciling piece, it's coming up with what's happened in a bank account. So obviously you've got different bank accounts you can go into that are connected to Xero with this live feed of information of those transactions that you've done, that money was paid into your account, money was spent out of your account, and then you're allocating it to the right areas so that it can be captured in your reporting. And if you're utilizing it daily, obviously the list of the things that you need to reconcile is not going to build up so much. Xero has a great functionality where it can create rules. It's got AI, it can, you know, machine learning within Xero. It's kind of anticipating how you reconcile and where it thinks things need to go. So it's going to help you in that way. But it's not going to do it for you. There's still that requirement to do that bookkeeping space in there. Let's see, what else can we have a quick look at in that reconciliation? Yeah, so you can attach files in here. So if you've got copies of the you know, that spend of that invoice that you just spent on, you can upload it directly from this screen here. You can do it on the app as well. It's a really has great functionality, and everyone utilizes it differently on how they work. Now, another one as a business owner, the other area you're going to hang out is probably creating all of your invoices when you're invoicing your suppliers. So you can really get a great snapshot of, you know, who owes you money. Just click on your awaiting payment, what are the outstanding invoices there? And you can automate it by sending them out. It's all in here of telling you what you've been doing. You can search, there's search parameters, there's importing, there's exporting, there's different, if you've got a complex business, you can have different processes in place for approvals, etc. So it's a really great one-stop shop to utilize the invoicing out of Xero if you need to, depending on what your business design is. So what are some other tips and tricks? Like before, like I showed you, is the Xero help is up here. So you can just, it's intuitive. You want to do something about maybe invoicing. So it's coming up with different tips for you. So what are you looking for? Items or a template, or the email that I send out with my invoices. So you can go in there and it'll give you the help that you need in order to update the system, make those changes. In your reporting, once you get proficient in Xero, there might be some reports that you want to run, and you want to run them all the time. So you want to get them across in this menu. So what you can do is you can star your reports to show up in your menu so that they're always there. It saves you a couple of clicks. So it's those little efficiencies that you can utilize. All right, so let's go back here. So some other Xero support is when you're working with a Xero partner, or advisor such as us, is you're able to access us anytime and ask any questions, because 9 times out of 10, it's something we've already come across before and we can help you on the spot with whatever problem you're having. You can also utilize the Xero help by asking those questions, and if it needs to be escalated, we obviously have that 24/7 access to Xero, where we contact Xero support with the problem we're having, and it's the turnaround time is really quick to get those solutions out of them as to how we work around with what the problem is. So you can see that particular image there of being able just to email, chat online to be able to get that support that we need, and that's it's a great function in Xero. You can also look at upskilling yourself in Xero. There's a heap of different resources you can go to. So by going into Xero, you can look up Xero Central or Xero Learning Central, and you can go in there and see what sort of courses. So if you're setting up your small business on Xero, to have a look at it. 9 times out of 10, there might be some complexities in there that we help our clients with getting set up, so it's set up properly from the beginning. But different little things like invoicing like a pro, there's some really great tips in those little articles and guides that you can then look at implementing within your business. So I encourage you to jump on your phone or on your PC, and when you're getting started is educate yourself in some of those spaces. Also, Xero pricing, I think it's really important to understand what it is, what does this tool cost for you in your business, because it's really it's not really a cost, it's really a need to have good accounting software so that you can make informed decisions as a business owner. They have different levels of subscriptions with Xero. You can go up and down in your subscription at any time because you own your file. And obviously, as you can see, this is just a recent pull today of what's out there at the moment, and there's substantial discounts on Xero files, because Xero's ethos is to try and get it accessed by as many small businesses as possible, so they can realise the efficiencies they can create and the great insights that Xero can offer them in their reporting, etc. So that's what you can sort of expect to pay. And at the moment with us as Xero partners, we can get 75% off the Xero subscription free for 6 months, which is a really great opportunity for yourselves if you're thinking of going onto Xero, because it gives you time to get started and get utilising it where it's with the support that you need. So how do you contact us? You'll get an email after this. You can book in. We do what we call a proactive accounting meeting. We We like to meet you first, whether it's online or whether it's in person. We do everything, and we have a chat about what it is your needs are and work out how we can help you with the different services that we offer. So it's not just that tax and accounting, it's the advisory space, the accountability through coaching, the business planning to make sure you've got clarity on where you're headed with your business. And obviously Xero is a great tool in us getting clarity on your numbers and what's going on with the business. So, you know, that meeting is always there on offer to meet up with us, and we'll send you a link if that's something that you think you want to pursue and meet with myself from Business Edge Advisors or anyone from the team. I suppose it's about any questions. So if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat. I've got Clayton here, who's the Director of Business Edge Advisors, and he can let me know if there's any questions that pop up, please.
Hello, everyone. So, Celeste, I think the first question is around how does Xero help with cash flow management? I was thinking about like invoice reminders, Stripe, things like that.
Oh, so great. Absolutely. So in Xero, it's about creating efficiencies so that you don't have to do everything yourself. So there's automation setups in Xero where you can go in and set up reminders before your invoice is due or after your invoice is due, so you can make sure that you can keep your accounts receivable to a minimum, because nobody likes a liability of all of your your invoices not getting paid. There's also that option I showed you in the app tools, that diagram we had up before about, I'm sure we've all heard of Square and Stripe, those payment gateways that you can utilize. There's like it's a huge amount. I can't remember the percentage of it though, but if you've got a payment gateway on your invoice, so when you send an invoice out, if it's got a pay now button on it, I think it's like 33% more people pay on time because they get it, they click it, they pay it, through Apple Pay on their phone straight away directly to your business, instead of looking at it going, I've got to pay that later, because we all forget. So, there's those payment gateways that you can add in there to your invoicing, and it's really easy to set up through Xero. And obviously, as Xero partners, we help our clients set those things up and find the right tool that's going to suit their business.
Love it. And I think the other one here, Celeste, is around how does Xero facilitate the tax compliance and reporting? Like there's a few different things in payroll, the BASs and things. So.
Yeah, so depends on how long you've been in business for, but even if you've been an employee, you may have heard the talk around payroll with single touch payroll. So every time a payroll is run, whether it's weekly or monthly in the business that you're operating or that you work for, that is electronically sent to the ATO every payroll. So they know how much employees were paid, what's their super that should be paid as well, so that they can make sure that business owners are accountable to making sure that they're doing those things, and that obviously that they can collect the correct amount of taxes needed. So Xero automates that for you. Just by a click of a button, those reports are getting sent. It's then creating the information that's needed for your activity statements, so you have to lodge to the ATO on a regular basis, which could be monthly or quarterly, depending on the size of your business. So gone are the days where you've got to sit down and work out all the data and, what's my GST and how much payroll tax have I got to pay. It's all done in a click of a button on Xero. And the reports are there for you to verify if you want to dig in a little bit deeper to see why the numbers are what they are. There was one more area you mentioned first as well then, Clayton. What was that before you said payroll?
No, I was talking about the payroll and the BAS and lodging the BASs.
Okay, so we got all that. Yeah, so and Xero is connected to the ATO, so for payroll and obviously for BASs. So you can lodge those activity statements directly from the tool.
And another question was, what's the best feature of Xero for sole traders? And I think that's definitely one of them, around that STP BAS lodgement, not needing accountants to do all the work for you. Xero assists in some of that heavy lifting, and then you can utilize your accountants to be the experts to check over what you've lodged for the year to see whether it's right. For a sole trader, I think without a doubt, payroll and looking after all the invoicing and getting paid, because it's super critical.
Yeah, no, that's great. All those little things that we've talked about, that's why, it's such I think a talked about app that's probably why you've joined us today, or why you're watching the video, is because you just want to know more. Is this the tool that I should be utilizing?
And I think probably the main reason a lot of sole traders jump on Xero is because it's really intuitive and easy to use. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. And so many, business owners that starting out and we're doing training with, is the questions that they're asking are in that Xero help. It takes them directly to an article because it's been asked that question so many times. The machine learning is able to take you directly to that area to answer those problems. Yeah.
One last question. The transition process for a business moving from their old system, or might be from Excel or paper, might be from MyOb or one of those other tools, to Xero. What does that process look like?
So Xero has made that really easy, and you would have heard me mention about exporting and importing data. So with most softwares, you can export data, and then utilizing Xero, you can then cleanse that data and import it in. So if you've got all of your contacts on a spreadsheet, we can clean that data and import it directly into Xero. So there's no data input, manual data inputting, because that's what Xero is about reducing, is that manual inputting that's required. And that, doing those conversions, you can actually start from a clean slate and go, well, in our old system, we had all this noise. We want to reduce it. We want to make it cleaner. We want to make it tidier. So we can do that when we're setting up those new Xero files by what we import, because we want to import good, current, sound data, so that you've got a tool then that's going to help you inform you to make really good decisions in your business.
And I guess the number one reason why a lot of people utilize us to help set these things up is to kick it off in the right way, especially around payroll, because setting up payroll can be quite difficult at times.
Yes.
Someone's also asked about, for a business not registered for GST, selling a service, do they have to have the capability for tracking that individual client payment histories? And so can Xero track client history contacts? Yeah,
absolutely. Yep. Yeah, and that's by having clean data in there. Then you've got to be utilizing those contacts to track that data.
Yeah, so you can look up a contact and look at all of their payment history for all of time, 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is. The other question was around, you can input from an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, so that's what Celeste was talking about. So if you've got Excel data or CSV, you can import some of that data directly into Xero via contacts, products, services, invoices.
System.
It can help import employees. You can CSV import a lot of data to get you started if you've got some data from another system.
Yeah, and it could even be you're at a stage where you've been in business for a couple of months and you just hadn't got onto that accounting software, and you're looking at Xero, where we can backdate it and import all of the bank CSV files, all those transactions that have occurred that haven't gone into Xero yet. So that can also be imported, so that when you give it to your accountant for come tax time, that it's all in there, all of those expenses and income.
Just recall, did you touch on the files, saving all of the receipts and stuff to Xero with the app and things like that?
No, so there is a menu, and I think that's probably a little bit more in depth, but it's about, I suppose, knowing that you can upload those invoices in different spaces within Xero itself. And when we do Xero training, we ask some really great questions to find out how you think you're going to utilize it, so that we teach you a way that's going to be cohesive for you and user friendly for you to utilize.
Really, like attaching those invoices and receipts to transactions ensures you stay compliant with the ATO, and if you ever get audited in the future, they're all there. Makes it easy and really good for your accountant to process your Xero file and get your tax done. Stay compliant.
Yeah, great.
That was it. Thanks.
Thanks for claiming all those questions. Love it. So, what to from here? I said that obviously we're open to have to chat, to contact us, or just go online to our website and you can book in for a proactive accounting meeting with us. Just a 30-minute session. We'll send you some pre-work, ask you some questions so that we sort of know a little bit about you, do some research before we sit down and have a chat. Hit up Xero Central, go and do some of those videos, look at those courses if maybe you're already utilizing it. There's a good video there on why utilize Xero, why start there. So that link will also be in the email. And you can just go to the different community pages that Xero have. Obviously, Facebook community pages are always a big hit. Have a look and see what people are saying about the tool and how they're utilizing it. Yeah, all right. So I suppose that's really about it really for today. I really appreciate your time for coming today with Business Edge. So once again, if you weren't at the beginning, I'm Celeste, and Clayton was the what did you do, Clayton, today?
Moderator.
The moderator helping me out there in the background of Business Edge Advisors. And we obviously love meeting business owners. So if you want to get in touch, please do. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.